What's up, everybody from YouTube? Give me a couple minutes. I'm just working on this right now. So I'm going to do a little theme music before we get started. Please hold on. Put that over wrong side. That's it. We got everybody joining out from the Illuminati. What's up? Nemesis Prime, thank you for jumping online right now. You know this music right here, right now. The original Star Wars stuff. Great song right here. So, real quick, I'm going to play this a little bit. You know, we got some good start. This is the original vinyl to Star Wars #1. And it's good stuff. So if you guys pay attention to the movies, you listen to it like I do, you'll pretty much enjoy it. But it's really good. So, The Last Jedi. Going to see it tomorrow, 10 a.m. Then I will give you my CGC rating. I've got a bunch of CGC ratings. I've got one 9.0. This is a great part right here. Ready? That's excellent right there. Then I have another 7.5 with a press. So we'll have to see. Next Illusionary just jumped on. What's up, my buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for jumping on. I'm going to do a little video right now. So we are going to play a little bit of Star Wars. So what do I have from Star Wars? I do have these original ships right here that I have that I just jumped on. And I've got some other stuff that I've been holding on to for years. So let's just play for a little bit. Turn it down. I got this stuff going on YouTube right now, so we're going to figure it out. So I'm going to place this right here, and we'll see how this goes. I'm kind of manning this alone. So I'm going to flip it over. All right, there we go. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Otto's Grotto, all things geek and unique. I'm your host, Otto. Really, we usually call this 3 Men in a Basement, but my 3 men are very busy right now, and the holiday season are not around. But we wanted to keep this relevant, and we want to talk a little bit about some things that have been happening right now. So I thought I'd jump on. Slippery Mick just jumped on. We're going to do a live feed tomorrow night from Slippery Mick, and then we'll see how exciting that is. So it's probably going to be a lot more fun than this. So, happy Last Jedi Day. If you have seen The Last Jedi, I hope you've enjoyed it. I really can't wait. I'm going to see it tomorrow morning, and then we'll see what's going on. From what I understand, 2.5 hours. I'm really looking forward to it. What do I expect? I expect Carrie Fisher to die. I expect a great story between Kylo Ren. I expect Rey to find maybe her way in the Force. I expect a great story by Mark Hamill. So we're going to do a Christmas special at Slippery Mix. So what's going on right now, just so you guys know, I'm live on Instagram and I'm also live on YouTube. And I'm just going to see how this plays out. I have no idea how this is going to work, but we'll see how it goes. So thank you for watching. So I've recently picked up some new books, and I'm going to show them off, and then we'll talk about it. So I went into my LCS. So right here in Connecticut, I have two LCSs. I have one which you need Prozac to go into, and Bernie 1869 thinks it's a great store because the guy just throws collections in everywhere, and you got to pick through everything, and that's a brilliant marketing plan. But it's not. What's up, bro? Thank you for jumping online. It's not. It drives me insane. And I don't have much time, and I want everything organized. But Bernie 1869 thinks it's the greatest thing ever. So, that's okay. So, my other store, Heroes and Hitters, is a great shop. And I go in every Wednesday now that I have a new job. So, I walk in on Wednesday, and they're like, oh, hey, Everett, how are you? And I'm like, hey, good to see you. And they're like, oh, look what we just put out. And I'll start with this. And they put this out. Walking Dead #3. Raw. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Walking Dead #3. And she says, oh yeah, and we're also selling that with Walking Dead #2. Oh, okay, #2. Walking Dead 2 and 3 out in a Raw. Very interesting. And she says, well, of course, we're going to sell all 3 of them as a pair with Walking Dead numero uno. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? You're throwing this out right now when I happen to walk in and, know that I'm not afraid. Well, anyway. Yes. But the problem is she knows that I'll spend, they are going to get slabbed, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So now she has all Walking Dead 1, 2, and 3, and she has a price point of, it was pretty decent. It was around $1,500. So I looked at her, I looked around, I said, look, I just bought some big books. I don't have that money right now. So, I don't know, maybe somebody else will get it. So I leave, and I'm driving, and I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm saying to myself, I don't want anybody else to get those books. More importantly, how often do you find Walking Dead 1, 2, 3 in a Raw? And so I started thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, so what would be my initial offer at $1,500 for those 3 books? And as KRS Comics just jumped online. Thank you very much, Chris. Good to see you. Thank you very much. So, Chris, what I'm talking about right now is Walking Dead 1, Walking Dead 2, 2, and Walking Dead 3. And all raw, all pristine, except for number 2 has some pressable defects, which I can get out. So anyway, so I'm leaving, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there. What can I afford? Oh, as I'm checking out, she says, well, Everett, for you, we'll always do a payment plan, or, we'll always negotiate cash. You're telling me this? You're telling me this 3 weeks before Christmas? I got 3 kids. Okay. So I go to the gym, whatever. I'm having a great time at the gym. I call her back. I say, look, here's a deal. $1,000. That's what I got. Payment plan. She says, pay it off in a month? Yeah, pay it off in a month. They're yours. Are you kidding me? Okay. I now own Walking Dead 1, 2, and 3. So, what do I think the books will come back at? So, I just had Bernie. So, we're all part of a group, 3 Men in a Basement, Otto's Grotto, All Things Geek and Unique, featuring 3 Men in a Basement. I have my buddy Roger Levesque, who's not here right now. I have Bernie 1869, my buddy Pat Howe. He's not around. So, I'm looking at number 1, right? Number 1 is pristine, but it's got this little, tick right up on top, and this tick is kind of like a blemish or something. It's like a little nub, and that's the only thing I can think of. This book should come back 9.8. No, I apologize, 9.6. 9.6 is what I'm hoping for. This book comes back in 9.6. I'm very happy. Now, I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead by any means. I do watch the show. Let me tell you about The Walking Dead and some things. Thank you, but I'm going to tell you about this. So, I've been a comic. I'm 47 years old. I'm an old man. I've been collecting comic books my whole life. but I stopped for a long, long time. And I was at a comic shop, you know, when this book came out 16 years ago, and I looked and I had a stack of them in my hands. I go, zombies? Now we're talking about zombies? We just got done with emotional vampires. What are we going to have? Emotional zombies? This is ridiculous. I don't even care about this. I just left it go. Well, let me tell you something. You know what I passed up on 30 years ago? 30 years ago, I passed on stupid Ninja Turtles with radioactive powers. Yeah, how's that working out for me now, right? But I bought 10 copies of Magic. I bought 10 copies of this. Stuff that's not worth anything. So I really haven't had my best. Oh, my boy Kevin P. Anderson's on. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you, brother. Part of my Illuminati group. So yeah, so I passed on those. I passed on that. But now I just picked that up. So I'm happy that I have that. I do have number 2 right here. Number 2 needs a little bit of help on the back end as far as getting pressed. A good press, maybe it'll come back in 9.4. And then I have number 3 right here. Right here. And I'm hoping that this is... Yeah, it took 5 years and now 3. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. So this book come back. So you know what? Now that I'm an owner of these books, the more I'm looking at these books, the more I really appreciate the image value of them. It's simple, it's interesting, it's a lot of fun. King of the Golden State jumped on. What's up, buddy? All the way from the West Coast. Thank you very much for jumping on to Otto's Grotto, all things geek and unique. So yeah, so that being said, I'm going to talk about today being Star Wars, right? So I first started, I'm old, I can't say this again. 1977, I was 7 years old, and I went to the movies, and I saw Star Wars. And it changed my life. And I'll tell you the exact scene that changed my life. When a Tantive 4 was coming over, and it got sucked up, and Darth Vader came over, and that was it. So on my page today, on my Instagram page, I talked about First Appearance Friday. And on First Appearance Friday, I talked about this. This was very iconic to me. My mother passed away over 21 years ago, so God rest her soul, Mom. I love you every day. I miss you every day, but she comes to me in my dreams. She saved a lot of my toys, and she saved my Star Wars lunchbox. And this is the original lunchbox from Star Wars. And it has the thermostat intact, just so you guys, for all you collectors out there, it definitely does. Look at it right here. The thermos right here. Not broke by any means, still fully intact. It's dinged up. Will I ever sell this? Absolutely not. So this was my Star Wars lunchbox, and so this is part of my childhood, and I love this every day, and thank God my mother in heaven kept this for me, and it's just the best. It's the best. So yeah. So collecting Star Wars, collecting everything else. I do not own, this is a very funny story. I do not own Star Wars #1 in comic book media. I don't own it. I never bought it. I missed out on it. I could have bought it when I was a kid. Why didn't I buy it? I don't know. To me, Star Wars wasn't a comic book. To me, Star Wars was toys. To me, Star Wars was my imagination, but it definitely wasn't a comic book. So that's it. But I did years ago rescue, not years ago, a few years ago, I did rescue this 12-back. Now, vintage Star Wars stuff. You should though, because it is so classic. Now I've got a bunch of stuff. So my boy Death Trooper 85 just jumped on. John, a good friend of mine, good part of my collecting group. He's got a lot of new Star Wars stuff. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you my original 12-back, which I did show on Instagram today. So this was not mine. I had some friends that were selling some stuff, and he wanted to get rid of it, and I did pick this up. And I'm very happy about this. This is a very unique trading set. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. So, but here we go. And this trading back set, this is very unique because this was a mail away, I believe. And if you look, my guys still have the original weapons. Princess Leia's gun I don't know if you can see that right there. It was lost within the first 10 minutes, but I still have that. Chewie has their bowcaster. All the lightsabers tips are broken. I will admit that. So this is the original 12 back. This is one of the pride and joys of my collection. I did rescue this from some friends who were willing to sell it, and I'm happy about it. So I'll take that all day. And that's kind of some stuff that I have. You know, I do have an original X-Wing. I have an original Millennium Falcon with, let me tell you this funny story. I have 2 Millennium Falcons from 1977. Both of them was from the original Star Wars. I have one that I'll sell for parts, but I have one that I paid $99 for just because it had the ball, the training ball that Luke used for training. And all that was a piece of plastic, a little piece of yarn, and a little gem ball. And I had a friend of mine that had it, and he goes, you know, my Millennium Falcon still has that. So I called him up one day and I said, dude, listen, I know you got it. I'll give you $100 for it. Oh, I can get much more for that on eBay for it. But I said, yeah, but you're not getting it. And let me tell you something. I'm giving you I'm offering you $100 for it right now, and take it or leave it. So I strong-armed him, and he is. So I do have one complete Millennium Falcon, which maybe at another show I will show off. But I will. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I'm taking the kiddies to see Star Wars, The Last Jedi. I have high expectations. But again, as long as it doesn't talk about metachlorites or Jar Jar Binks, I'm a happy person. So, we have a merger, right? We have a merger. We have Marvel and Fox coming together. So, does that mean that this comic book, who I hope Death Trooper is still online right now, we'll talk about for a little bit, is still around? Does that mean that the Fantastic Four and the Skrulls will make their way into the Marvel comic universe in one way, shape, or form? Do I hope so? I really do hope so, because the Skrulls of Fantastic Four have yet to be represented in the way that they should. So I think it will be. This is a great book. This is very linear in my opinion. As far as you guys know, my collecting is very linear. When I say linear, I talk about things as far as certain grades, specific books. And why this is very linear to me is, I'll tell you, it's Fantastic Four number 2, graded at a number 2. Could I press it? Could I crack it, press it, and have it come back a little better? I don't want it to, because it's a number 2 at a number 2. And you know what? It scrawls. It's great. I have it right there. So, yes, one of my books in my collection. Let's hope that this this whole merger works out well between Marvel, Fox, and everything else. And I hope so. Now, I was at my LCS the other day, and they had these great boxes, right? I needed a few boxes. Marvel Venomverse, everything else is typical boxes. Did I buy a new one? Yep. You know what? I actually bought. I'm telling you, right? That is a great looking book. You know what? And I got it from a great price from a good friend. So, a lot of you guys on YouTube right now, I'm actually watching this on Instagram, just so I want to say. And it's a lot of fun, yes. So, I bought 2 of these boxes. I bought these boxes because I've been buying a lot of variants between Matina, I don't know who else I've just been buying lots and lots of variants, and I keep them all over the place. And I need a different color box to keep them in, so I grabbed these up, and you know what? With some top loaders, that's where they're gonna go. You know, so all my Matina variants, all my Alex Ross variants, all my, I don't know, all those other stuff, they're all gonna go in these separate boxes. So I do have those. What else can I talk about for a quick minute? I did do a couple transactions on eBay, on Instagram. I was able to pick up Hulk 162, the first appearance of Wendigo. And great book right here, done by Herb Trimpe, God rest his soul. And just good stuff right here, all right? And that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to leave everything else for Otto's Grotto, All Things Geek and Unique, featuring 3 Men in a Basement. My brothers in basement are all doing certain things. So, that's it. Hope you got a laugh or two. Merry Christmas to you all. And remember, does this suit make me look fat? So, Merry Christmas to everybody. I'll be well. I'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you very much.